So last time we talked about a few sites like Staples, Walmart, Best Buy. And this time we're going to try a new site which is called the Monoprice. And this one is different because many tricks are involved in revisiting the sites and grasp scraping components there. So the first is, by default, when we visit the site, we see that actually there is no search box there. There is a button, which if you click this button, it's going to unhide the search box, but by default it is hidden there. This is because by default this Chromium launched by Puppeteer is only half the width of the screen, and that causes the Chromium or the site automatically recognize the device as a mobile device. So with the mobile device, the setup is that it's not going to show the search box, and you have to click or fingerprint this to bring up the search box. This is not what we want. So there are a couple of ways. The first is that we can try to find this button and then click it to bring up the search box, but that would be too complicated. The easiest one is to allow this Chromium to open up this website as a PC instead of a mobile device. So the way of doing that is actually, the clue is here. So if in this inspection window, if you click this, it's going to tell you what are the choice options to display this website. For example, this one is much more like a iPhone, a smartphone setting. So if you toggle that again, it's going to have other different devices. The other is that you can also change the drag down and change the settings here. Like this one is going to be like iPod, iPad, whatever. So these are the principles of for the pre-settings to allow the website to recognize what type of device we are using. But there is a more flexible setting in Puppeteer, is that you can set the width and height of the device. So like in this case, we can do it like this. We're gonna set the width as this and height of this, and basically this is very much like a laptop screen. And we're gonna specify that the mobile is full, so to indicate that we're not using a mobile device. So by this setting, when visiting this site, it's going to show the web page in the laptop settings instead of in the mobile phone setting. And very importantly, these three rows should come together. So we cannot only have this is mobile false, but without setting the width and height. And likewise, if you only have this width and height without to specify that it is not a mobile device, it may still have error. For now, with the settings, we're going to go to this website as a laptop, so the search box will appear. But there is another thing special about this website, is that it does not have a submit button. So the website relies on that when you enter the string for search, you're going to press an enter button instead of click the submit button. So remember what we did before. For example, for Staple or Walmart, we always have a submit button, and we have a specification on how to identify that button. But for this Monoprice, we have a problem because there is no submit button. So this is what I created. Actually, there is no such contents there. So that's a problem. So to solve that, we're going to use another trick. The trick is that we're going to use the try to try to find if a submit button can be found or not. So basically this line is to search for the desired search button, the submit button. If it is found, then we're going to click this button to go to the next step. However, if that button is not found, then it's going to return error, and we're going to catch that error. And so the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to prompt in the console log to say that this element does not appear, so it is not there. Then we're going to use this line, which is to await for a key press, and the key press actually is for that enter button, and this is the way to do it. And very importantly is that we have to wait until this button is clicked. So I tried this line without waiting for pressing this button. It does not work. So this is the first thing. But the problem does not stop there. We have to go on. And now the button is clicked, and yet we have to wait for the page to load again for the new URL. Otherwise, if we try to catch the contents of the page here before waiting for the page is fully loaded, and we're still going to have the contents before hitting that press button. So that is why that we're going to wait until the navigation to the new URL is done. So I have an example here that before we're waiting for this navigation, we'll see that the URL was still the old one, which is pointing to the main page of Monoprice. But after waiting for the navigation, now we're going to have a page whereas the desired contents. Well, there's always another option. For example, we can let a page to wait for a certain length of time, like waiting for, like I think 20 seconds is long enough. But the problem is that it's hard to tell. So that setting for a fixed time, waiting for that period of time is not the best choice, because who knows that how long it would take for the page to load. So it's better to use this approach to wait for navigation. And remember, always add a wait before, otherwise it's not going to work. Alright, so with this, now we have the page loaded, and the next time we're going to check, we're going to build a new model called the module 2, which is to capture the contents. Basically, these are items listed in the page.